Hey guys, okay, so I've got another foundation for you. This is a free, it's a sample, but this is a mineral foundation. It's called SM Cosmetic that I found on Etsy. And I was just looking through, I was like, I'd really like to try another mineral foundation because I have a review and have tried this and several times over the years. I have tried the Bare Minerals original mineral powder foundation, and I have tried mineral foundations in the past, and there was one brand that I loved and used for years and years and years. Loved it. It was called Garden Botanica. It was a pressed mineral foundation. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Wore it all the time. Loved it. Had really good coverage. It was a great shade, all that stuff. And so I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, you know what, I want to try another one. So I looked on Etsy because I know, like, I like to support like Etsy shops anyway, because I have an Etsy shop myself. Shout out to today's sponsor as well, which is me, and it is hollysdollshop.etsy.com. For all your doll needs, you may take a look at that. All right, so this is the brand SM Cosmetics. The shade is Sun Silk. It is a foundation sample. Now they put it in a little bag like this, which is kind of a little tiny bit annoying to me. I'd rather have like a little, even if like they don't fill the little plastic case up, even if they don't fill it up, I still would rather have this because to me this seems easier to manage. So it's in the bag. It was free though, with I think I paid, I don't even remember. I'll put it in the description if I paid anything at all. The sample itself was free, but I might have had to pay for shipping, which comes with like the receipt in the envelope and this in the envelope. And nice enough though, they sent me this another free sample. This is the Aubergine eyeshadow. So it's a real pretty, looks pinkier on camera, but it's actually like a very cool tone, dusty purpley, deep dusty purpley color. Very pretty. So that I was not expecting that, so that was nice. All right, so let's see if we can get this stuff on, shall we? And I don't have, way long time ago I had a kabuki brush that was, I don't know if it was designed for mineral foundations. Like, oh, my brain, like sometimes it just absolutely stops working. So I used that. It was like one of those short, like rounded top kabuki brushes, and used that forever. But now I don't need it. So I threw it away, I think, or got rid of it a while ago. But anyway, I don't have that. So I'm going to use today the e.l.f. powder brush. It's a bit flimsier than the kabuki brush was. So we'll just see what happens, and I might try a different foundation brush. And I'm just going to get some out of the bag, try not to make a mess of it. So it's on there. And I will say today, because I did a review on it, I have the Hard Candy Sheer Me Tinted Moisturizer on as sort of like a primer. So that's on there. So we'll just see how it works with this foundation. And I know, like, with mineral foundations, you want to buff, 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 buff. So I'm going to do that. Okay. So far, looking nice. I'm going to get a little bit more. I know, like, they usually say, like, I'm already probably using way more than like they recommend, but even with my pressed mineral powder foundation that I had used for years and loved, I could never use just like one little bit of it. I had to keep going back in and using a decent amount. Yeah, I've had people like in my comments say, oh, you need like, you used way too much, you used way too much, and that's why it's not working out for you. And I still to this day, I'm not saying they're wrong necessarily, but still to this day, I'm just like, I don't understand how using less will actually give more coverage. Because for me, it was never a problem with how it looked. It was always a problem with the coverage. Never enough coverage for me. And I'm just gonna take a little bit on my finger, put it around my eye, and see if we can get a little bit more coverage that way, which I know a lot of you are probably like, no, sacrilege, burn the witch, all that kind of stuff, because I'm just not doing it right or and all that, but I'm just gonna see what the best way is to get good coverage from a mineral foundation. This seems like the way to go. All right, so I will say that like so far overall, it's looking really nice. I've had, again, like over the years, because I was always looking to replace that powder mineral foundation that I just loved. Always looking to replace it. So I've tried a lot of different, you know, samples and stuff, especially even from Etsy, because Etsy has some really nice makeup brands, you know, indie makeup brands that people sell, and they have a lot of nice ways for you to get free samples, or not free, but like get a sample, at least a sample. Sometimes it's not 100% free, but you know, sometimes it'll be like $2 for a really decent amount of product. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it looks nice so far. The shade might be maybe like a hair too dark, but just a hair. The undertone looks good. I'm not sure like how much coverage this is offering me compared to the original Bare Minerals, which I just could not get good coverage out of it. Looks nice on my skin too, like it's undetectable, which is really what I'm always looking for, undetectable coverage. I will say though that with the Garden Botanica one, it was hard to get undetectable coverage. Like it would always look a little tiny bit dusty, and that was in the days before there were things like setting spray, and I wasn't using any sort of primer or anything. It was just like freshly moisturized skin, you know, and it was usually like 5-10 minutes after I had moisturized, then putting the foundation on, and it always did look a little bit dusty. So but I'm gonna say at this point, I like this. It looks really pretty. It's not offering like a ton of coverage, but it looks very natural on my skin. So I will say though that this Nude Look powder foundation, I think it's called Sheer Baked Powder. I want to say this is like marketed as almost like a powder foundation, but I would really call it like almost a highlight because it's very glowy. And here it is on my skin, but I want to say it was almost marketed as like a powder foundation, and I have used it in the past as a powder foundation. It's just a little bit too dark for me, so I actually am going to give this to my oldest daughter, but because she's got a darker skin tone than I do. But this is very beautiful as well, and I think if you're looking for, you know, something, this will do the job of that. I also really did like the e.l.f. e.l.f. Camo powder foundation. I have it in the shade Fair 140W, which I think is a good shade match for me. I'm gonna say that probably this has a little bit more coverage than this one that we're trying today. All right, and there's like so many other powder foundations out there, but if you're looking for a mineral powder foundation, I don't think this is a bad one, especially if you can get it to try it for free. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will leave my updated thoughts in the description below. Please don't forget to thumbs up, like, subscribe, ding my bell, and I'll see you in the next one.